Tails.
Oh my God.
I know regulation coming in slow. I know crypto digital gold, that's why I buy that low. I know that it's inevitable. Have patience, is getting close, my money don't fold.
While they crying, I'm buying my bags, multiplying. Laid out on the island, they probably wouldn't find it. Crypto flying, I'm buying my wallets, they just get higher. XRPL is on fire, and Gary's about to get fired. 2025, the Phoenix will rise, new all-time highs. The dollar will die, XRP the new reserve. I don't wanna hear a word, I just have to say it first. Ripple's the new Fed, don't forget Jet. Still to get this cred, all them gens got me fed. Solana never dead, age bar, type the government. Now my money spent, bags equipped, new 1%. We gon' be the next ones that be running shit. I know regulation coming in slow, I know crypto's digital gold, that's why I bought it low. I know that it's inevitable, have patience, is getting close, my money don't fold. And I'ma keep stacking these bags, and I'ma keep making this cash. And I'ma keep stacking these bags, and I'ma keep making this cash. What I tell them, if you knew what I knew, then you be buying too. Put it in your wallet so you're cool, is what I would do. Show you how to move, I'ma let my gains be the proof. RLUSD is loose, Ripple still bulletproof. Buying dips on the quickness, possibilities are endless. When charts hit resistance, I'm handling my business. Tails is a whale, y'all just some fishes. Developing my riches, crypto settlement is instant. My grind is persistent, they probably didn't listen. You know I'm not tripping, cause I'm buying while it's dipping. Big dreams not for small-minded people, we not equal. When it finally take off, there probably won't be a sequel, yeah. I know regulation coming in slow, I know crypto's digital gold, that's why I bought it low. I know that it's inevitable, have patience, is getting close, my money don't fold. And I'ma keep stacking these bags, and I'ma keep making this cash. And I'ma keep stacking these bags, and I'ma keep making this cash.
Oh my God.
Hi, Tails. What about Tails, man? No, hell no. Yeah, peace out. I'll hit you when I'm done. It's almost done. Alright, word.
Yo. Welcome to the show. Shout out to everybody who pulled up early, man. Shout out to everybody that's sharing with your folks. Make sure to sub, share the wealth. That means don't keep that link to yourself, man. Let's make this thing grow. Shout out to everybody, man. Let's get started. I know we're a little bit late, so without further ado, today we are bringing you the true heavyweight in every sense of the words, 68J. This guy's story is unreal. He dominated as a professional basketball player. He took that same drive and built multiple businesses from scratch. He traveled the world speaking on stages, inspiring thousands, and made millions mastering that crypto game. On top of that, he's worked on movies, bringing his larger-than-life energy to big screens and crypto for life. But what sets him apart from everybody else, he's all about giving back to the community, turning his success into impact. Now it's time to break it all down, share the strategy and the hustle, and we're going to learn from him, man. So let's get started, man. Appreciate you coming on, bro.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, I'm excited to be here, Tails. Man, I wouldn't want to do this with anybody else. You know, I've done several, many interviews over my days, and TV, radio, and then a lot on YouTube with different influencers, man. But this definitely means a lot because you're one of my favorite people in the space. I bump your music each and every day. It's one of the things that I told you earlier when we talked. I said it's like prosthetic, man. I mean, you're next level, brother. So it's an honor.
Yes, sir, man. Much love, real recognized, real. I'm glad to have you on, but like I said in the intro, man, you've done a lot with your life, as far as, from where you came from rags to riches story, I would say. So if you want to just talk about it a little bit, let us know a little bit about yourself, and then we can get into the crypto part of it.
Yeah, man. I mean, God, where do I start, man?
Let's start like as like when you was a kid, right?
Yeah.
You were into sports. Obviously, you 6'8". You probably wasn't 6'8" back then, but I'm sure you was still tall as a kid.
Yeah, probably one of the tallest. That's for real.
So how was that? How was like, growing up playing ball? You from New York, right? I see you
Brooklyn.
got the New York hat on. So
I rep it all the time, man. Brooklyn,
yes,
Brown.
Sir.
Yeah. Tattooed on me. My name's 6'8". It's not just my height, but it's actually I've been that since college. So I got 6'8" tatted on my, that's just yeah. So Brooklyn, New York, man, and we left at a young age. Lived, born in Brooklyn, lived in Puerto Rico, then went to Florida, where my dad's family from. My mother's Puerto Rican, so if you imagine like if J-Lo and then I hate to say Puffy because all the crap that he's in, but if they had a kid, that would be me and my siblings.
Okay.
No Diddy, gotta add that in there. Let me stop.
You already know.
No. So raised in Florida, man. Poor, man, welfare, the story, a lot of people have different stories, but saw a lot, went through a lot, had to grow up quick, started knocking on doors. My first job was at 13 years old. I've had this guy on my show, his name is John Singer's mom. I found her in a newspaper. It was a newspaper article about young people being able to work at, I think you had to start at I think it was 13 years old. And I went and got a job, man, was knocking on doors, trying to help moms out. Funny thing is, Tales, I'm gonna skip through all the childhood stuff because it's nothing really to brag about. I had a jacked up childhood. I was fighting all the time. My mom originally moved out to California. She had to leave me behind because I was a problem kid, man. I wasn't one of those kids that dealt with divorce very well, so I was always fighting. That put me in some pretty bad schools and pretty bad situations. But once I got up to California, I had to straighten myself up. My 9th grade year, I found football. I thought I was gonna be a football player. We actually went undefeated in the state of Florida. I was actually in Florida first. And then when I went to visit my mom that summer, I grew 3 inches. And that's when I discovered basketball. It was the summer of my 9th grade, the end of my 9th grade year. And went out to California, stopped playing ball and never looked back. And that's kind of that story of basketball. So I kind of started basketball late, to be honest with you, because I thought I was going to be a football player. And was very fortunate. Went through high school. I was a decent ball player. Wasn't nothing special in high school. And then my first year in college, because again, I was just converting, but I had to learn the game and everything else. And then my first year in college, I redshirted. I was going to be playing for a school called City because my grades were just not that great. You know how it is when you got to go to those JUCOs. And the coach was cool with another coach who was just starting up at this other college. He walked in and he said, "Hey, man, heard you were redshirting this year." I said, yes, sir, I'm playing next year. He goes, "Well, your coach said if I wanted you, I could have you." And he goes, "If you come to my school, you got green light." He said, "I watch you practice." He goes, "You come to my school, you got green light." And so you guys heard of the Fat Five, like with Michigan and all those guys when they had all freshmen that almost won a national title. Well, that happened for me. It just wasn't in the NCAA. It was NCCAA, which is like an NAIA Christian division, it's a lower end division of college. So I went over there to go play it, and leading scorer, leading rebounder, most valuable player, almost won a national title. But again, because my grades were bad, I was going to be going to Fresno State, and instead I left to go pro overseas in Puerto Rico. Took the money like every silly kid, thinking he knew something, and that was kind of my journey with that. That's how my basketball career went. And then I'll kind of let you come off that, but then after that, I'll tell you how I got into the whole business thing.
Man, yeah, that's crazy, man. Your story's kind of similar to mine. I played basketball and I played football, but my grades weren't good to really do something serious with it. I was too focused on having fun and just doing what I like to do, and it wasn't school. So that's just the way it goes though sometimes. Right. But yeah, man, I like that part of like where you came up, because that shows like the hustle, the teamwork, the ambition. So moving from that towards like getting into business and stuff, how did that come about?
Well, first of all, doing college, it wasn't easy because before I went pro, I was a street dude, right? So basketball kind of saved me from that, but I was still kind of hustling and doing everything I could during college just to pay bills. And then obviously got into basketball. So after basketball was over, I got married really young, man. I mean, probably the biggest mistake I ever made was getting married that young. And then the mistake, at that point, my coach was like, "Man, leave those girls alone." I didn't listen like every knucklehead, and ended up having a little one, which that was the greatest, gift ever. Obviously I was young and wasn't prepared at 21 years old, right? But I just signed my pro basketball contract, went to go play ball, came back, and without getting too much into it, I had to take a little bit of a break from playing ball because the original pregnancy that we had, we actually lost, and so because of that, I took some time off to kind of be with that person at that time, and then she got pregnant again. And so during that time, I took a little bit of time off basketball to figure out what I want to do. I started working a little bit just to kind of earn some bread, because that overseas money ain't what you think it is, right? It's not what you think it is.
Sure, man.
And so was going to go back and play ball, start working for a while, kind of got caught up with working. Always had a plan to go back and play. And then what happened is I realized, I said, look, man, if I go back and play, that money that I made wasn't really all that. I mean, I could make more money out here doing what I'm doing. And then, so I realized it wasn't going to be Michael Jordan, even though, I had the love for the game.
Everybody has the dreams, bro.
Yeah, man. And then, when I was working for somebody, I started working for a little bit, and I realized I didn't want to build somebody else's dream. So as a young man, I was a little bit of a hard head, where I was smart, I was brilliant. Don't get me wrong. Like my 1 year in college, I turned around, believe it or not, when I was redshirting that year, I actually got an AB honor roll. So I wound up being an honor roll student. But then when I got into college and started playing ball, you get caught up in all the hype and all that stuff, and I kind of lost my way again, so my grades fell. But I was always very, very smart, especially when it came to being an entrepreneur. So when I started working, I realized, man, look, I don't want to build nobody else's dream. I want to do my own thing. So I started thinking about how I could make money, and I came up with an idea that lasted almost 30 years now, 20-something years. Yeah, and been in business ever since, man. So many different things. I'll kind of, though, if you want to know what those things are, I'll break it down to you too. But
yeah, break it down, bro. I want to hear it all, bro. Let's hear it. I know a lot of your story because, I follow Crypto for Life, and
right.
You give us a little background on what you do and stuff. But for those who don't know, I definitely want you to break it down, and just so they can see where you're coming from before we get into the crypto aspect, because your crypto story is unbelievable, and it's better to hear, how you came from this and then you became this, because then it gives everybody that sense of it could happen to me. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I ain't nothing special, brother. Just, I think what it was is that I watched a mom that worked her butt off, raising 4 kids, right? And never had any time. And all I saw was what I saw. We were poor, and all those type of things. I just questioned everything. I'm like, look, man, I don't want to do that. And so when I got a job, I personally didn't like showing up at 8 if I wasn't done sleeping, going to lunch at 12 if I wasn't hungry, and getting off at 5 if I wanted to get off early. So my mindset was already kind of ruined in the fact that I'm like, look, man, I'm not going to be a great employee. I need to go out there and either go back and play basketball, or I need to find something else. So this guy hired me. This was a turning point for my business, getting into business. This guy hired me. He was a multimillionaire business owner, owned a bunch of ambulance company, and like a big tow company. He had like a show truck, his tow trucks were like in show magazines. And he said, hey man, I got like a 14-year-old son who's like really tall. Would you mind coaching him in basketball? You're like kind of teaching him some moves. I said, yeah, why not? And so I did that. And at the guy's tow yard, he had these cars he would impound, and you could buy them and sell them. And that became where I got the entrepreneur spirit. I started flipping cars. Once I started doing it, I saw the process. Oh my God, I can do this. And then I became really good at cleaning them up. So the first thing I did was open up a detail shop. Second thing after that, I saved my money. I went down and filed for a dealer's license. Everybody kept telling me I was crazy. I filed for a dealer license, went through everything on my own, studied, got my dealership, became 2 dealerships. And a quick version of that, my dad was into speaking. My dad was a big network marketing guy, so he was into speaking. I wanted to learn the art of doing that. But when I had my car lots, Tales, I felt like I was missing something. I got really good at flipping cars, wound up having like a couple car places. And then I got into acting, believe it or not. It was something I was doing on the side. And I hired an agent and started doing like sports commercials and all that kind of, because I was a decent looking dude, man, I guess you would say. A lot of people were comparing me to like that Kojo, whatever that guy's name is. So I was getting a lot of acting deals for a lot of commercial stuff for sports, basketball, all that kind of stuff.
Do you see your passion more into like film and stuff like that, or do you see it more into like business as far as like
business for sure? No, I just found myself bored, because when I was doing the car thing, like it became really easy. And then I started one of my biggest things were facing my fear of being on stage in front of people. So I got an opportunity when I wanted to get into acting. Some guy had invited me to his acting school. And the guy who owned the acting school, his name is Alan Autry. You guys might know him as Carlos Brown. But if you ever remember the show back in the day, was called Heat of the Night with Carol O'Connor, and he had that big old sheriff named Bubba.
Nah, I ain't never heard of that one.
If you Google Heat of the Night, some of the old heads knows what I'm talking about. And so he invited me to his school. The guy who actually owned the school was Bubba, his name is Carlos Brown was his real name, but they called him oh God, I'm drawing a blank right now.
What'd you say it was called?
It was called Heat of the Night. with and the guy's name, his real name was Carlos Brown, but his acting name was I can't think of right now. Alan Autry. He was the mayor of Fresno, California for a while. So Alan Autry, I went to his school, and he wanted to challenge me on acting, and he did that. I was able to break rules in the school, got into acting, got an agent, did all that stuff. I'm kind of going through that quick. I did some theater work, and did some stuff like extra work in movies and stuff like that. I had a couple little small roles in a couple of films, and but my passion was always work or business. And so I started studying. I got into speaking just because my dad was into it. So I had to learn the art of speaking, got into that, start breaking records in different companies, start traveling the world doing that, at the same time owning my own business. Then I got out of speaking for a little bit, started opening up cell phone stores. We owned 2 semi-pro basketball teams in California. We did that
bro.
for a while.
Your resume is longer than bro.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I did all that, man, all that. And so, during that process, met my wife Jeanette. That went through a divorce. Met my wife Jeanette. I had 4 kids. She had 2. We have a total of 6 together. And
wow.
She'd been through my journey with speaking and business. And then to kind of fast forward all the way down, Tails, I got to a point where I raised my kids, man, and I wanted to find something that didn't, one of the pursuits in life is that you try to become successful. Sometimes we don't understand the price that you pay in being successful. And the price that I would pay in traveling the world as a speaker, but besides my traditional business, was I was always gone. So I would miss sometimes anniversaries. I would miss my kids' homecoming queen stuff. I would miss but I made a lot of stuff when I was here. I didn't miss very much when I was here, but because sometimes I had to be out the country. And so about 8 years ago, I told my wife, I said, I need to find something different. And back in 2017, I stumbled across, a friend of mine told me about crypto. I can tell you that story next, but that changed my life. And I told my wife, I said, look, give me 1 year to learn about this. And I said, I don't think our life will ever be the same. And so my wife is in the chat right now. So that's kind of
talk about that though. You said your friend told you about crypto, and then you kind of got into it. So tell us about that story and stuff.
Yeah. So after all my business stuff and traveling, I got to a point where I wanted to settle down and just enjoy me and my wife. The kids were getting ready to graduate college, and I told her, I said, hey, I think in the next couple of years I want to just travel the world with you and just live on the beaches of the world, basically is what I said. And I said, I found this thing called crypto. And the way that I found that is a friend of mine who was also a big time motivational speaker. His name is Carlos Ray. He's like the Tony Robbins of the Hispanic community. He said, hey, Jay, I know this guy I want you to meet. And he goes, this guy used to be a taxi cab driver, kind of like that guy, Crypto. And he said, it's not him though. And he said, this guy he's worth $100 million, but he used to be a taxi cab driver. I said, doing what? He said, Bitcoin. And that's the first time anyone ever actually sat down and told me about Bitcoin. This is back in 2017, but if it wasn't for him, Tails, if anybody else would have told me that, I would probably say he's full of crap, because $100 million just sounds so far fetched. And
all the crypto numbers sound far fetched until you start learning about it. Then it starts becoming more realistic. But
exactly,
it's crazy how how long have you been in crypto? Like, what year did you get in?
17. That's when 17. He called me and told me about it. And then I got on the phone with that guy, and he flew me to Spain.
Okay.
And so he told me about the guy. He said he made $100 million. I said, man, I got to see it to believe it. And so he said, we're going to set up a call, I think like the next day or the day after. So I didn't want to feel stupid, Tails. I'm like, well, shoot, I don't know anything about Bitcoin. So I started calling up my buddies who were like doctors, big time business people. And I said, hey, I started just making a bunch of calls. I said, hey, what do y'all know about this thing called Bitcoin? And about 5 of my friends said they knew about it. And I started Googling it. So that way, when I talked to the guy the next day, I didn't sound stupid. And we got on the phone, and he said, hey, what do you know about Bitcoin? I didn't lie. I said, look, I Googled it. I asked 5 of my friends about it. I said, what can you tell me? He goes, well, I got this trading program that helps you make money. He had a company that he was trying to get me to look at. And he says, it has to do with Bitcoin and crypto. And if you want, he goes, I'll fly you out to Spain. He said, matter of fact, bring all your friends. So he flew me and 5 of my friends up to Spain and explained everything was first class and explained crypto to us.
Wow. Yeah, and crypto, opens that opportunity for anybody, anywhere, to change their life instantly. All you have to do is do the right research, meet the right people. You never know what happened, and really it's the only opportunity that we have now, that people can really change their life and everything, so
Right.
The thing about crypto is everybody wants to moon, everybody wants to become rich and stuff, right? So I would say that whole idea, right, is like a game winning shot. You know what I'm saying? Like you hit that shot and it's like, oh, it's game over,
Right.
So as a baller, right, what would be the one moment in your life that felt like that game winning shot when it comes to crypto?
Well, let me say this first. So when I say somebody flew me to Spain, it wasn't because I was just a guy interested. That'd be kind of stupid, right, to fly everybody to Spain.
Yeah.
But
He definitely knew you had some kind of potential or something.
Well, by that time, I was an award-winning speaker. I was I skipped a lot of stuff, but I was in magazines. I got awards. I was recognized as a big-time speaker. And so he wanted to recruit me based off of who I was and my reputation in that world of doing it on the biggest stage around the world for 20-something years. So when he brought me down, that's what he had in mind. And when I looked at it, man, I instantly had regret. I was like, oh my God, especially when I realized it was, like it started back in 07, 08. And I was like, oh my God, I had money, my mind just started spinning. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. And I went back home and I told my wife, things will never be the same. And so this is a very important thing that I want to say, Tales, is at that moment, I looked at my wife and I had just promised her that I wasn't going to be on stage. I wasn't going to travel no more. I wasn't going to do nothing. That's why I had a hard time doing YouTube. But then I realized it's just a camera. But I had promised my wife, I said, look, no more traveling, no more going out there, helping everybody around the world. It's just me and you. She dealt with that life for so many years. So I said, but when I found crypto, I said, babe, if you give me one more year of business and let me try to figure this damn thing out, I promise you our life will never be the same based off what I saw. And that was in 17 and we never looked back. So your question after that was, what was the changing point for me?
Yeah.
Is that what you were asking?
Yeah. What was all right, let me see. So,
well, let me say this. Well, go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, go ahead, bro.
Oh, because I screwed up big time when I got into crypto. But go ahead with your question.
We all did, bro. When I first got in, man, the first crypto I got in was Dogecoin, bro. And I didn't even hold it to when it almost hit $1. So I really, everybody makes a lot of mistakes because there's no guide to this, there's no, you got to just do it and learn from it. And that's why we come on these lives and we talk to people about it, because we've been in it multiple years where we can give, our side of how we move so people can learn, not to move those certain ways. But I just want to know, what's one crypto moment, that felt like you hit a game winning shot?
Oh, for sure. I got that. So it was a crypto moment followed by about a week in the bed with my thumb in my mouth like a baby on damn near crying. You ready for that?
Yeah. That's the one.
Okay.
That's the one. Everybody get your tissues ready, man, just in case y'all ready to cry it out, man.
Yeah, not literally crying, but I was sick as hell. So when I got in, I went to go meet the guy. They had this company that was teaching me some things as far as investing. And that wasn't really what I wanted to do. I quickly realized trading bots, but then the word trading. So I got back, I started being interested in trading. Didn't know anything about trading. So in 17, I started taking, I did that for 17 and then I just had a hard time with crypto. I actually sold I had a Hummer, very one of the nicest Hummers in the area I was in. And I sold that Hummer and I took that money and I invested in crypto and I lost every dime of it. Right. The reason I lost money is because I took trading courses and I was trying to figure out how to trade. So I went through these courses. I met JC and some other things like that. Always talk about JC and some others. And I started trading, but when I was trading, it doesn't teach you about your emotions. It doesn't teach you, when you trade, you're not really doing your due diligence on the asset. I was just trying to trade myself in and out of trades. And then I started learning how stop losses sometimes don't stop. And even though I was trading in and out, so when you said the highlight, it was a trade that I had with Polkadot. I got into Polkadot and they did a redenomination. I made $200-something thousand in that trade. I ran out the room saying, "Oh my God!" And my wife and everybody was hugging me. And then I stayed in that, because it started going up, and I'm thinking it's going to keep going, and then it dipped back down. And that $200-something thousand wound up retracing about 150 grand. And so I only walked out with about 110, and I was sick. And that's when I realized at that point, I said, you know what, F trading. And I was doing other little trades up and down, but I said, screw trading. Let me learn about these assets and just holler. And that's how I started. Yeah.
I made the same mistakes, man. I did the same thing. I've watched my portfolio go to the moon. I've seen it crash all the way back down. I've been in since 2018, and it's been a roller coaster ride, man. It's been up and down all around. But once you know what you hold, once you do the research, you know, it makes it a lot easier to stomach the swing. Because right now we're currently in a dip right now. You know, everybody's scared. People think crypto's over. Like, this is a buying opportunity, if anything, and you guys should take advantage of it for sure. Because, you know, I don't think we have much time left with the prices being the way they are, considering everything that's going on, you know, with what they're trying to implement with crypto. So I suggest everybody get right. But man, so would you say that would be like, you know, a situation where that was like the worst thing that happened, where you lost the money, or did you think like it was cool, like, you know, I'll get it back?
No, the worst thing that happened was the last bull run. You know, I had some things that I was doing at the time that was generating crazy money. I won't get too much into it. Let's just say I was creating, it was generating a lot of money. I got into staking nodes and all that kind of stuff. And at the time it was generating just ridiculous money. And I had, my portfolio had went through the roof into where I was literally, I could have saved millions of dollars to tell, but instead I was so caught up in one thing that I didn't take as much profit off the table that I should. I left a lot of money on the table. And I was reinvesting in things that are no longer here. And I'm talking about, I was reinvested in the millions of dollars. And so when those things went away and the market crashed by like what, some of these coins are down by what, 75, 80%. So that was devastating. I was smart enough to take some money off the table, but it taught me a lot. And so when you see me on my show talk about like $70, $20, $10 cost average, or 25, 25, 50, or control your emotions, do your own research, or all those things, is because of what I actually personally went through. And that's why I say the things that I say, and I am the way I am to the community, because I'm trying to teach them not to do what I did.
So do you want to break down the 70, 20, 10 for people who, you know, might need that guidance on how to, you know, not only to have a short, you know, thing with the utility tokens, but if you also want to play in the game with memes, or if you're also not really sure 100% if a token is going to do something, just how to allocate the right way. So would you talk about that for a little bit?
Well, I think for me, the thing that I learned from trading to the last bull run to where I'm at today is, you know, what I talked about before. Number one is you have to make sure that you have a plan, a great plan. And in having a plan, the second thing is, so number one is having a strategic plan. Number two is doing your own research, because no matter what anybody says, if you don't know why, it's not going to make any sense, and you know, you're going to make some bad decisions based off what other people say, and then you're going to be trying to blame other people, and it's like, you know what, it's your own fault. And so I got into some assets based off what other people said and lost my ass, and I had nobody to get mad at but myself. So that's why it's important to do your own research. Number three is control your emotions. One of the biggest problems I had in the beginning is emotions, because you'll see money go up, and you're like, oh my God, you know, like, but you know, what do I do? Or you know, you get emotional, you sell when you shouldn't sell, and then, you know, you're thinking, oh my God, it's gonna go down. So the emotions wrecked me a lot when I was coming up through this thing. And then not taking profit is number four. And then I always talk about your why. So you said 70, 20, 10. The reason I came up with that tell is because a lot of times people go out and they try to, especially lately, you see people who are putting all their money into like a certain meme, right? Or, you know, Trump coin, and they'll move money out of XRP, or they'll move money out of, you know, a 70% to a 10%er, and not understanding that 10% may not actually make it. Because there's a lot of coins that were in the top 20 coins or top 30, and they're no longer here since I've been in crypto. I'm talking about coins that were number 20, number 18.
It's changed crazy. It's changed crazy. Yeah. I remember when Safe Moon was the big thing.
Oh,
and everybody
I
thought that was the one, because they kept putting out ads and all other kind of stuff. So
bro, I had
definitely see the crazy stuff, like being in crypto over time, and you know, it's just crazy where we're going. Because I remember when crypto first started, you wouldn't hear anything about crypto at all. They wouldn't talk about it on the news, and if they did, it would only be Bitcoin. It wouldn't be any other coins. You know, now we have a subcommittee, and you know, they're trying to create regulations for this thing. So we're at that point where, like, if you ain't stacking it up, like the track in the background telling y'all, I don't know what else to tell you, bro.
Yeah. So
man.
So when it comes to 70, 20, 10, real quick, Tails, The way I look at it, let's say if I had $1,000, I don't even know crazy number. If I had $1,000, I'm putting 70% of that in assets that are strong and have a likelihood of being successful, like your Bitcoin, your Ethereum, and that's how it was at the time. And I'm saying this because when I had my 70-20-10, Bitcoin was like $3,500, $4,000, $5,000, kind of thing. Now I wouldn't be spending 70% of my money on Bitcoin because you're only going to get a fraction anyway. So 70% of my money, the reason I said 70-20-10, 70% should go into the 70%ers that have the most likelihood of succeeding. Like for me, it's like XRP, XLM, Matic and things like that. And then 20% would go into coins like, let's say, VeChain, Harmony, Zilliqa, things that had the potential of becoming 70%ers one day if they got the right partnerships in place. And then 10% of my money. So if I did 70-20-10 on $1,000, that means 700 would go into the bigger coins, 200 would go into the 20%, and 100 would go into meme coins, like something like a Shikaka coin, or back in the day a Doge coin. Because Doge was, when I first got into crypto, Tales, it was 0.000 something on Robinhood. So that's why I put 10% of my money. Shiba, I got into Shiba early, which turned out to be like almost $1 million for me, right? So, but I got in early. I think I spent like $1,000 or something. But I got in early. That was a 10% that actually paid off more so than some of these other coins that had at that time. So that's the 70-20-10. And then I came up with the 25-25-50 take profit strategy the same way. So yeah, and that was just my trial and error, man. But it's worked out for me. So
man, that's a great story, and so has crypto ever helped you, do something special for the community? Like, has it made you enough money to where you can give back and, help people, not only with your knowledge that you do, and giving people information that crypto for life, but as far as like, real world, like you explain some situations in which crypto has helped you help people out?
Well, I mean, I'm trying to give you as much information I can without skipping over. I skipped over a lot, but
yeah, I know you did. I do remember one particular where you had gave money to a doctor in
Nigeria.
I want to say Nigeria. Yeah, Africa.
So basically, what crypto has done for me, when I lost that 25,000, I came back in and I started implementing things that I learned, like the 70-20-10, control your emotions, all the things that I talk about on my show. I came up with another $15,000. And that 15,000, to answer your question, the short end of it, without getting too much into it, has turned into millions of dollars now. And so what crypto has been able to do for us is we've turned back and been able to send money to, like, let's say, Nigeria. We've donated money for medicine to go buy kids clothes. Me and my wife were doing that before crypto, though. We were going out and building.
Yeah, I do remember you saying a story about how you wanted to help somebody that needed some clothes and had a hard time with life. And
so I was a poor kid. I was a poor nappy-headed kid that was on welfare, and I couldn't afford basketball shoes. I couldn't afford this. I couldn't afford that. So after doing certain things with the doctor, and then he recorded. So if you go to my Crypto for Life channel, what I actually did is actually on my channel. We recorded it on shorts. We recorded the whole video. His name is Dr. Christian Damboy. We have several videos of the kids saying, "Thank you, Crypto for Life. Thank you, 68J." So that was one part. The other part that I did is I contacted a coach in Fresno, California, in the town I grew up, very poor on welfare. And I said, "Look, man, do you know?" He's coaching kids. I said, "Do you know of any kids right now that are struggling? Any stories? If you hear about anybody that can use some help, that could change your life, let me know." So he called me and said, "I got this one kid, James. He is amazing, a baller through and through, has so much potential." He goes, "You got to meet this kid." But he said, "James, he's so embarrassed of what he's wearing, his holes in his shoes, his clothes, his hair, his grooming." He said that he just misses so much school, so now he became ineligible. And I was like, "Oh man!" So I got the call. I sat down with my wife Jeanette, who's in the stream right now. I said, "Hey babe, he got this kid. I think we need to go out to California, go back out to California, help him." This is the last time I think I lived out here in Vegas, because this is my second time living in Vegas. When crypto put us in that position, we left California at the raising our kids. We went to Hawaii for a year. We went to Vegas, went back to California to wine country, and then we came back out to Vegas. But the first time I lived in Vegas, we decided to go drive down to Fresno. I went to the practice. The coach introduced me to the kid, after practice, the coach said, hey, he said, you're going to be going with my man James and his wife. We took the kids shopping, gave him some money. I mean, he was just lit up. Then we met his parents. And so that's just one of several stories of things that we've done like that. But yeah, we've been doing the charitable thing for a while, man, as far as like, going to different countries, building schools, feeding people, all that kind of stuff.
Man, that's great, bro. I feel like that's the whole point, right? Because you make all this money and you can be successful in life, but if you're not doing anything to make things better for people or just in general, like I feel like it's just a waste. So there's a lot of people out there that's real stingy with their money that could really help out people who really need it, and they just don't do it. Not the fact that they can't, they just don't. But yeah, man, I like that about you, man. That just shows that you're real, man. And it doesn't matter, where you come from, what you have to deal with in life. Like you have that in your heart the whole time, and that's what's up, man. So,
thank you, brother. I appreciate it.
What would be like one thing, like out of everything that you learned, where you're like, you wish you knew this at the beginning? Hodl.
Yeah, I think my 5 steps to success, which is have a strategic plan. I didn't have one in the beginning. Do my own research, control my emotions, take profit. That's a big one, bro. If I'd have took profits,
that would probably be my number one.
I would have 10 times or 20 times the money I have now if I'd have done so. So it's like a lesson learned. I left millions on the table, but it's a lesson learned. And I'm actually grateful, Tales, because at some point I think everyone's going to go through some kind of catastrophic something. I learned the importance of not keeping your crypto on exchanges. I learned by sending, there's so many little things I can talk about, man. We probably don't got time about sending crypto to the wrong wallets or not making sure
I've done that one too.
Forever. Yeah. And, like there's so many things that you learn. So what I would like to do is kind of tell you how I got my own show and how that started,
All right, yeah, let's talk about it.
So, when we had the success in crypto, I started connecting with people. I found CKJ's channel. I wound up connecting with some other people in the space, and I quickly started doing the things I was doing before crypto, like when I was doing my speaking, where I was giving stuff away. So I would get on people's show and give things away. I would give crypto away. I would say, hey, man, I'm going to give away, you remember that. I'll give away 100 XRP, or I'll give away, and I was doing stuff like that. So I kind of became known for that, not just with CKJ's channel, other people's channel, right? I would do this, hey, man, I'm going to donate Bitboy channel, whoever it was, I would just donate stuff. Because, it was my way of giving back and saying, just thank you to the community. And then one day, me and CKJ connected, and he started having me co-host. And even before that, I had people saying, Jay, once they found out my speaking and what I did as far as, travel world speaking, that, hey, man, your knowledge and you're always helping people for free. And I would just give up so much game to people in the space, like coins. CKJ calls himself the gym hunter, the gym hunter. But I was doing the same thing. I just didn't have a platform. I was telling people, oh man, JC will tell you, man. JC thanks me to this day of a lot of gyms that I gave him as far as game on. And so people were like, you should have your own channel. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to be back in the public's eye, because one of the things I realized about this space, and this is the part I want to say, the greatest thing about crypto is anybody can do it. And the worst thing about crypto is anybody can do it. And in my business life, I had a lot of structure, right? I only put myself around people that I want to be around, right? People who were on the level that I want to be on. I kept myself away from idiotic people. And one of the things I learned about X and about YouTube is when you do that, you open yourself up to everybody, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Sure. And people can be so goddamn judgmental. And not only that, but I had to ask myself, do I want people in my personal life, right? Do I want people to know everything? Not that I had anything to hide. It's just, man, I spent so much of my life being in the public's eye. And so, after talking to my wife and talking to other people, I struggled with doing it, but then I said, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and start my own channel. And I did that about, even though I've been in since 17, I only started my channel about 2 years and 3 months ago. And so we started Crypto for Life. It was supposed to actually be something to kind of work together with CKJ, and it just wound up being something I did on my own after a while. And I wanted to share my own experiences without any type of, like having to worry about this and that, come on when I wanted to, whatever. And it turned out to be something beautiful. In that process of 2 years, they've shut my channel down 3 times. They shadow banned my videos, but not because I'm doing anything wrong. It's just, I don't know how the game works.
Just can't say certain things.
Yeah. And I didn't know that. Like, I wasn't a YouTuber before. So like you say something about the WAR or about, COVID this or this and that, they could get you for that. And I didn't know that. So.
Yeah, man. Well, it's crazy, everything that crypto has done for us in these past years, what do you think, where do you think this journey is going to take you in the next 5 years? Like, where do you think you'll be in 5 years?
I want to answer that question, but before I do, I want to say something to Crypto Trooper. He says you got to have thick skin and it's not thick skin for the hecklers. I'm a Brooklyn kid. I'm a Brooklyn dude, and so the way I do things, man, is I don't play. I think you've seen a couple of those moments, Tales, where I just have a hard time dealing with dumbass people, and so and I call a spade, and I knew that about myself. So I said, man, if someone says something to me, I don't know how I'm going to handle it. So that was, see, I'm a real cat, man. You know what I'm saying? I keep it real, but I just don't play any BS. And so that was one of the things. But once I got into YouTube, I quickly figured out how to handle it. The problem that I see with like Telegram, there's a lot of scammers. With X, there's a lot of scammers. That's the part that I have a problem with in the beginning. But I've learned how to do that, and I'm perfect right now. I've got we got our own little thing going. Crypto for Life is going strong. We got a great community. I play your music every day. I got a lot of stuff going with CK and many others. I've had some of the biggest minds and the greatest minds in this space on my show. So if you guys haven't checked it out, Crypto for Life is absolutely incredible, and you'll find the streaming on there as well. Now, what was your question, Taylor? Let me answer your question, brother.
Just where you see yourself in 5 years with crypto. Like you think crypto is gonna move by then? What do you want to do after it does? Like, what do you think? What do you think in 5 years?
Well, let me say this. Crypto to me, and this is coming from a guy who built businesses, traveled the world, has some phenomenal relationships with people all over this country, and I've done a lot of things, and I owned a lot of different things. Mike O's in this chat as well, and even Mike O will say, he has a bunch of businesses and things like that, but I've never seen a great opportunity in cryptocurrency. It's one of the fairest forms of capitalism you ever see, meaning that anybody can do it. It's not predicated off of being 6 to 8. It's not whether or not you're smart like Mike O to have a button. Like, he's a multi-millionaire outside of crypto, right? But it's one of the things that anybody can do it, and all it takes is, and I don't even say a lot of capital, because back in the day, like now, you need a little bit more money, right? But there's still assets like HY, X1, XTC, XRP that are very cheap. You can still get in for very cheap. Obviously, it's not the same for Bitcoin, but what I would say, man, is this is a great opportunity. Don't mess it up. Don't F it up like Raw Powell says. Embrace the moment. And I really do believe that it's going to change a lot of people's lives. So in my next 5 years, Tales, because I say this humbly, I'm probably where most people are trying to get to. So where I'm at in the next 5 years is trying to build generational wealth. That's I think that's in the next 3 to 5 years, me and Mike O talk about this all the time. I'm not trying to get rich or become a millionaire in crypto. I'm trying to have generational wealth. I already kind of got past that part already. So now I'm trying to create generational wealth for my children's children. So where do I see crypto? I think that a lot of coins that we've heard this for a long time, a lot of coins that are out today won't be out tomorrow. I think it's the greatest time because of Trump and what's going on with Trump and everything. I don't want to get too far ahead of you on this stuff, but I just believe that what's going to happen in the next 3 to 5 years will be the greatest transfer of wealth that mankind has ever seen. Bigger than real estate, bigger than anything. And that is, I've got real estate friends. I've got real estate friends who are millionaires. And I know there's people in this space who have done way more than they have at a fraction of the time and a fraction as far as the age. Young people that are worth tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars. Well, my friends have worked their whole life and maybe they're worth 5 or 10. So.
See me, I just tell them some of that, gotta get some of that. Got to get some more of that. You ain't got none of that. You ain't got enough of that. You know what I'm saying? But since we're gonna talk about Vegas in a little bit, because I know you brought up Vegas and stuff like that. But I just got one more question. All right, so have you ever wrote a movie before or something like that, or you wanted to work on your own movie or something like that? Okay.
Yeah, so years ago when I played in celebrity basketball games, we had a particular game that I had went to the airport to pick up me and my buddy's Jervis Cole, who was a professional basketball player, and he had me go to the airport and pick up some actors. It was Coolio. You remember who Coolio was? The late Coolio that just passed Dangerous Minds and did a lot of other stuff. And Antoine Tanner from Coach Carter, Robert Rashad, who played on. Robert Rashad, he played a Tiger Woods movie. He did a lot of. He's in like movies here that was in the theater not too long ago. Bud from the Cosby Show. Remember little Bud that when it was Rudy and Bud, the little black kid that liked her a lot. I picked up him from the airport. And there was a couple other people, And we had played in this celebrity game, and we were in my Navigator. I had a brand new Navigator at the time, and I was telling Antoine Tanner, I was telling Cooley about this movie I wrote some time ago that me and Ryan Lamar is going to be working on now. This is years ago. And wrote a movie. This was during the time I was in acting school, and I was doing some stuff myself. And Cooley took a big interest in it, had a Hollywood director reach out to me. I was supposed to actually get a rough draft together for him. I got so busy in my life, I never did it. And here recently, because I'm working on a movie now with Chicago, now when I met with Ryan Lamar, the director, he said, I heard you had a movie idea. I said, yeah, I wrote something, and we talked about it. He quickly said, man, that's a hit. So hopefully after this movie, we'll start working on it. Yeah. Something I want to do.
So let's talk about more of Chicago. Like, what was your idea behind creating your own token, and what did you feel like, you wanted to do with that project?
Chicago was an accident, man. And I say that in a sense that not an accident. The name Chicago was just something that I said because I remember hearing a reference to that. You guys remember Pet Detective and Jim Carrey was saying Chicago. So what happened is me being keeping it 100. There were a bunch of just crap coins or a bunch of scams and rug pulls at a time where I was just sick of it. One of the reasons I was motivated to start my own shows, to keep it 100 and tell people like it is, and never shill, never do this and that. So you guys see now, I don't even show my coin very much. I just talk about it, because the bigger picture is what I'm focused on, not just shilling all those kind of things. So
but you have the idea of what you want to do with it.
Yeah, but it's really doing something like a real movie and real things happening, not just a bunch of people pumping so they can pull you. And so I was on my show one day and I was talking about coins, and I told one day I said something about Pepe, and I said Pepe is it's a joke or something. And I said I would never buy that, and then I pissed some people off in that may, oh man, I got Pepe. And I said, oh damn, I shouldn't have said that. So and it wasn't that I wasn't real. It just it ended up being a pretty good deal where some people made some money. It's in the top 100. But I realized that I needed to stop talk about a particular coin. So I came up with the word Chicago so that I wouldn't offend anybody. So I said, people got Chicago coins and people are full of Chicago. So what happened is I was doing a lot of interviews. You remember when I was having like Linda P. Jones and Molly Elp and a bunch of people on, your Jimmy Valleys and your Zach Rectors and your Louis Jackson. So I was doing a lot of interviews. And what happens, people were coming on my show, they had watched my show, and they were like, Jay. I was like, what's up? They were like, Chicago. And I'm like, what? They're it became like a thing. And so one day, after people were doing that, Mike O, who's in the chat here, he's my partner in Chicago, he said, Jay, I think we should do something like that. I think we should do a meme coin. And the first thing I said is, hell no, I don't want to do a meme coin. The reason being is because my perception of a meme wasn't necessarily bad. It's a lot of the people that were in the space that were bad. So when I look at Doge, it was a joke, but they were honest about it being a joke. And then they got Elon, and look where it's at. Shiba came out trying to be a copy of a Doge, and look where they're at. And there's other companies like Pepe, whatever. But then my thing was like, okay, well, what is it used for? There's a lot of scammers. I had been a part of a couple rug pulls. So when Mike said it, he goes, no, man, look, he goes, you know who you are, right? And I'm like, yeah. He goes, I know who I am. We don't need money. We're going to fund the whole thing. We're not going to do any pre-sale. James, we're both, millionaires. He goes, let's do it for the community. He goes, bro, we're invested. And at the time, we were invested in movies. We're doing this. We're doing that. So he said, it's for us, by us. And the way that Mike said it, he says, it's going to be a meme with integrity, or meme with, I can't remember, for the sophisticated investor. I said, what? I never heard that before. A meme for the sophisticated investor. So I said, okay, I'll tell you what, let's start it. But let's keep it on the down, meaning that we're not going to overly promote it. And because I don't want to overpromise and underdeliver, Tales. We'd rather underpromise and overdeliver. So I quickly turned to, and I know a lot of people said celebrities, this and that, but it wasn't about celebrities, even though we have celebrities. We have Ray Frost, and we have, Don Benjamin. We have other people got director Ryan Lamar. But for me, it was, if I could connect this coin, let me put it to you like this. If somebody went to Edwards Theater or Regal, and they watched a damn movie, a real movie. And in that movie, your coin was mentioned twice. Chicago this, and hey, you accept the Chicago coin here? And somebody like, let's say Kevin Hart said it, or somebody on some kind of big magnitude, you'd be like, oh damn, what is that? And so now the coin is being represented to create films, tied into certain products and things like that people can use. And people, when I was coming to Tales, I always want to be a part of the movie. But I didn't have the kind of money for that. So I thought, man, if I could somehow tie this coin into movies, the productions of movies, and the things that we want to do, just entertaining things, whatever it is. Or maybe the community says, hey, James, we raised enough money through this and that. Let's go out and do some giveaways like you did with that young man. Let's go out there and close somebody. Let's send some money to Nigeria. Whatever it is, we have a community that can vote and do those things. So that's what made me buy into Chicago. for us, by us, for the people, by the people. Yeah.
Yeah, man, and it's crazy because I had just created a coin, XTales, and I wanted to create something that was more than just something speculative that people can just trade on or something like that. So that's why I'm doing this show, as hearing everybody else's tales. You know what I'm saying? I'm crypto tales with my music, but everybody has their tale and everybody needs to tell their tale. So I figured, having that, bringing content behind, what I'm doing. And it's more than just music for me because I also, deal with film. I graduated film school in 2013. I worked on movies and shows and music videos and everything you can think of. And the future of XTales is not just music for me. It's also visual. It's also, coming out with crypto, documentary or movie or whatever the case is. So, there's so much opportunity that crypto brings, and we're moving towards a future where it hasn't been created yet. So we're the ones, doing it. So with that being said, man, if you were to create a name for your crypto story, what would it be?
From rags to riches.
Like if you made a movie, it'd be From Rags to Riches, the crypto story.
Started from the bottom, now I'm here.
Okay. So you have to shoot that one day. We're gonna have to shoot that for sure, bro.
Started from the bottom, now here. No, I think about it as a name. If I was to do a movie, I would just title Crypto, having the ability to dream again.
Yeah,
right.
It does give you that ability for sure.
So many people had dreams, man, and then life gets in the way. Maybe you had kids too quick, you had to work too quick, whatever it was got in the way, and you stopped dreaming. I think 90-something% of adults or people that are on their own stop dreaming. We all talk about doing this. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna be an astronaut. whatever. I'm gonna be, and at some point, life just kind of kicked you where it don't count, right? And you had to start doing things maybe you're not happy with. Start to, and I think that's what crypto represents to me. Is it gives people the opportunity to dream again, because some of the stories are crazy, including my own story. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't look at myself as special or the smartest guy in the room. I realized, like, wait a minute, I'm not messing with this. This ain't where I come from.
Yeah.
You gonna show me how to make that? Are you crazy? So I think people who get into space and treat it like a lottery ticket or like a part-time thing or whatever, I'm gonna do this and that, and don't take it serious. Well, shame on you. And that's the difference. I always tell people, whatever got you to this point, if you're still doing the same thing, looking for different results, you're crazy. If you want things to change, you got to change. If you want things to get better, you got to get better. So how you treat this and what you put in this is what you're gonna get out of it. Yeah. I
agree 100%, man.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much all I wanted to ask you on questions. Let's get into the Vegas thing, because we do got some serious stuff popping in Vegas. It's getting bigger and bigger every day. So why don't we talk about it and let everybody know, what's going on.
So, Vegas, man, look, I've been to the last couple Vegas, Brad Kimes, his Las Vegas event. And the first year was cool. And, I was in a position financially where it was not big of a deal. The second time, it was cool as well. And then here the third year, I had some people reach out. They were like, "Oh man, I got some money again, but man, Jay, the tickets are expensive. Some of the prices went up." Blah, blah, blah. So I started getting messages like that, and I was like, "Damn!" So I started doing my research. I'm like, "Whoa, this thing, it's you got to have a pretty penny to go to this thing." And a lot of people are trying to figure out how to stack their bags and how to create a better tomorrow. And so I made a comment. It got blown out of context. I didn't, I wasn't a Brad Kimes. I let that dude, like as far as what he's doing and everything else. So it wasn't nothing about that. I think the event, if you can afford to go, is great to see some of the big names that are there. But I felt amped to because I truly do love my community. I am for the little person because I came from nothing. I was like, if I could do something. And so what happened first, Tails, to be honest with you, Melissa, World Be Free, messaged me. She said, "Hey, we got something going on. Would you like to be a part of that?" I was like, "Absolutely." So I was gonna put some money in on that, and then I know that XRP Bags has something he was doing before, and I was like, "Well, let's just tap into what he's doing." So CKJ actually hit me up. He's like, "Yo, Jay, you doing something this year?" And I was like, "Well, I was gonna do so with Melissa them," and I said, "But why don't we just connect with Bags and see what they're doing?" And things didn't quite work out, and then CKJ said, "Well, why don't we do our own thing?" And I said, "Let me look into it, man." And the more I started looking into it, I said, okay, well, maybe I will do something. And so about, last week, man, I decided to let's go ahead and move forward with it. And man, from what I've done over the last, not even a week, man, has been crazy. We locked down the venue, a crazy venue. And then what I did is I leaned on the relationships that I built in this space. So I got some of the biggest names. I mean, to name a few, like we've got, Mickle, Linda P. Jones, Molly Elmore, Zach Rector, Ray Fuentes, Jake Claver, myself, CKJ, Aquaman, Armando Panjoya, Rob Cunningham, and many others that will be there. And I've actually been having people contact me asking me if they could speak, but some of the people that said, hey, we'll wind up showing up, just come hang out. Some people can't get on stage because of the conflict of their jobs, like Eleanor Terrett, but she's a couple times said, hey, Jay, I'll come through. Metal Lawman said he might come through. Versan with Black Swan Capitalist. Echo said if he's in town, he's trying to see Coach JV and Johnny Crypto and all those guys, Av and those guys said, hey, if they got like an event for their crew Saturday night, he said, but if we can stop by, we'll do our damn best to do it. So we expect, man, look, we put the ticket sales up not even 5 days ago, I don't think. And I would say a fourth of the tickets are already gone. So for people who want to come, I would advise you to spend that $40 and lock in. If you even think you can come, because if we can do that in a week and we still got 3 months to go, yeah, I think it's going to sell out. And that's not even including what sells out tells. What about all the people that's at Brad's event or these other events? Because there's more than just one event. There's an event on Wednesday. There's an event Thursday night. There's an event Friday night. Somebody's having, and then we're having ours on Saturday, not to conflict with Brad's deal. So people have somewhere to go at nighttime in an affordable manner where it's not expensive. And again, they can go to Brad's thing and still come to our thing either way. So there's no shots out to him. Or no shots taken at him, because you can go to his event during the day. It ends at 5 or 4 or 5, and then come on our event, which is 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on May 31st until 1 a.m. So it's going to be amazing, man. We got a star-studded lineup, including some guy named Crypto Tales that's doing the music.
Yeah, man. So May 31st, if you out in or near the area, or if you feel like you want to take profits, because XRP blew up about that time, so pull up to Vegas 31st of May. Make sure you get your ticket early because it may sell out. They already selling like hotcakes. Pull up, enjoy us, have fun with the family. I heard 6AJ got a party bus. I heard he's giving out prizes. I heard all kind of stuff. So y'all don't want to miss out, man. Y'all want to pull up, enjoy the fam. I'm gonna be performing. I'm gonna do some songs for y'all. So we're gonna get some live crypto music and we're gonna have a good time, man. So anybody who want to get in, want to buy a ticket, I put the link in the description. So go ahead and hit that link, get you a ticket, man. Get right. So I'm about to end it soon. We almost hit that hour, man. You got any last words before I wrap this thing up?
I would just say, man, embrace the opportunity. Understand how important this is. I know I gave you guys really quick snapshots of my life and snapshots of what I've done. It's been a lot of ups and downs, a lot of peaks and valleys. But I always say, if you want to enjoy the rain, you have to embrace the mud. If you want to enjoy all the gains in the rain, meaning success in the space, you have to embrace the downtime. Don't get discouraged about, I'm going to talk about, especially right now, shouts out to Jay Henry got his ticket, but especially right now, tells when you see prices go down from like $3.45 to like, what it got to like $2.10, and it's already popped back up to like, I don't know, like $2 and was it like $2.40 or no, $2.30? Where's that now? I think it's rebound $2.33. So look, guys, that's a whole lot better than 50 cents. That's a whole lot better than 20 cents. And if you look at the overall potential and what's in place for XRP specifically and crypto, Trump being elected, guys, this is the greatest time ever. In all my years of being in crypto tales since 17, we've never had a time like this with Trump, with making America great again, with possibly no capital gains tax in American cryptos, which XRP is at number one. Possibility of no income tax. I mean, all the things that's going on, bro. This is the best time to position yourself. And at $2.28, this is what I'll tell people. What if you could have bought Bitcoin at $2.28? And they're like, oh, well, that's not bull crap. It was created to be better than Bitcoin in every way. So, man, I'll tell people like this. This is going to be your greatest story or your biggest regret. That's up to you.
Hey, I couldn't have said it any better myself, bro. Like I said, like I've been saying in the music, man, you got to take advantage of this opportunity. Stack it up while you can. All these buying opportunities is nothing but to help you out to get your money right. Because at the end of the day, you already know where we headed to. We headed to that moon. So that's a wrap for today with Tales and 6AJ. From big wins to hard lessons, we covered the game. Millions will be made by the end of the day, so change your ways and don't play. And always remember, it's crypto for life, all day, every day.
Hey, Tony, if you don't mind, man, you mind if I do something real quick for the chat?
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
All you guys that are here, man, Crypto for Life, Chicago Coin, XTales is community, and all those that are out there. I just want to say how much I appreciate you guys, love you guys. And you know what? I feel like I owe you guys something really special. So here it is. Just from 68J to you guys, a little song for you, right? Have I told you lately that I love you? Good Lord, y'all pray for Mr. Coffee. Guys, appreciate you guys in a major way.
Yes, sir. We catch you on the next one, man. Peace out.
Bitcoin stockpile, pay the global debt. Stablecoin regulations, what's coming next? All-time high coming soon. Crypto to the moon, done with the meme, and it's moon season, starts bleeding. Got them selling off for no reason. I'm the crypto buyer, watching numbers getting higher. Seeing all them gains, only time to get inspired. Get into the bag till it's time to retire. Gotta run it up, I can't get enough. Down 10%, by the dip, I had to pick it up. From the bottom to the top, gotta hustle every day. No more struggle, gotta get paid. Money on the way, money acrobat. Flipping all this cash, low cap, 000 and a 1. Know you gotta get you some, I'ma tell it my way. Crypto running sideways, watch them bags catch a blaze. Most people gon' be late. Hey, 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 yeah, they're so. Yeah, we gon' nuzzle. Crypto to the moon. Baby heading there soon. It's really that simple. It's really that simple. Get you some crypto. This that new system. Get you some info. 20022 talking ISO. RLUSD is what I know. Read the crypto Bible. I'm the disciple. The innovation stifle. Communities are tribal. No other asset class is a rival. Moon mission soon. No time of arrival. Waiting for that low cap revival. The charge just showing we follow the same cycle. They just got their money in that bank sitting idle. Crypto tells are idle. Old friends and fam feel entitled. I told them all about it and they're all in denial. Money's evolution, the digital revolution. Blockchain is a solution for all of the institutions. Just waiting for the execution, the new of distribution.